Take the first step towards online privacy. Get NordVPN.
Ready to hop in the 6-4 and cruise around the blocks? There's a storm coming to the underworld and the heat is on. Take over the blocks and call the shots. It's time to hustle or get hustled. What's it gonna be? Stay sharp. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Don't let them catch you slipping. Only real gangsters thrive in the dope wars world.
15:30 UTC. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the July monthly meetup, community meetup for Conceal Network. I am Crypto Rich. I will be posting this on my channel on Odyssey first, so come and follow me there. And we're going to be getting an update on what's happening with Conceal Network. And who we have with us is CryptoOX, Mr. Quibs, and Christopher, who is a Conceal Network ambassador. So we'll be hearing from all three of them at some point. And then if you have any questions, please take a note of them, and we'll be opening the space up for questions at the end of the updates. All right, Mr. Quibs, I'll turn it to you. Anything you want to say, just to say hi? Introduce yourself.
Hi guys. Good that you guys are all here again. Yeah, I will start with the marketing updates. Not too many this time. So yeah, we decided to focus on video tutorials, which will be coming online in the next couple of weeks, because we think that if we spend money on promotional things right now, it will likely not do, because of course the current market sentiment is not optimal. So yeah, we're just working on tutorials for all of our features and products, because they always come in handy. And also we got listed on, we didn't get listed yet, but we will get integrated on Gemlink, which is a multi-coin wallet. We got there by voting, and our community got us like 700 votes, I believe. So thank you all for that. Me and Tegus also were on the xt.com podcast yesterday, xt.com exchange, and one of my friends works there, Marcos, and he invited us to be as his guests on the XT podcast, and we talked about Conceal in general and our view and opinion on privacy. And it was a great talk, and it will be online somewhere next week. What else? We got a new team page. I'm not sure if it went live already. I don't think so, but we have revamped the team page. It looks way more smooth now. And also with a small backstory of each person, because of course we're all not sharing our real identity. So it's we got the tip that it would be nice if we had a small backstory with each person. So that's what we added. And we also got a new branding page, so that it's easier for people to create content for us if they'd like to. And I think that's all from my side. Yeah.
Great, thank you so much. And it makes sense to, I suppose, shift the focus. You're not always focusing on marketing, because you've got to have something great to market as well. Okay. One thing I wanted to say, let everybody know that Conceal Network is a member of the Blockchain Privacy, Security and Adoption Alliance, and that includes projects such as Komodo, Signum, which is formerly Veruscoin, and also Pirate Chain. And these are projects that are working together, collaborating together in order to further blockchain adoption, security and privacy. And maybe, Mr. Quibs, if we have time, you might want to say a little bit about what's happening with the BPSAA and Conceal Network. Okay, let's go for some development updates with CryptoOX. Now I've given you an extra O. CryptoOX.
Hello, Rich. So in terms of development, we don't stop. We keep working on it every single day. No matter if it's a bear market or a bull market, we are baking in our kitchen. And at the moment, we are doing some improvements on the Conceal core. We traced some little bugs that are being sorted out. A new upgrade with a few little surprises. I think our community is going to enjoy it in terms of optimizations. We are incorporating a few new features as well in the command line interface. The desktop a new upgrade very soon. and there is quite a few improvements. Beside that, the Conceal app, that's going to be the future unified app for all Conceal products and services, has undergone a major renovation, not only in terms of user interface, functionality, and at the core level as well. Then we have the Conceal Bridge, that a massive task completed. So I'm talking about Avalanche Bridge is completed and incorporated as a model of the bridge. And finally, we completed as well the functionality to swap between tokens between EVM chains directly. So without the need to convert to our mainnet as intermediary. So now someone can just like swap between Ethereum and without the need to use our mainnet as intermediary. So that's quite a couple of big achievements that our community was expecting. Here they are completed on time, and beside that, we are working on the Conceal Web Wallet. Is totally decentralized, quite different from the cloud. The cloud needs Amazon Web Services, but the web wallet, it runs totally on your browser without sharing sensitive information with any other machine, and any data that needs to be transferred and a random remote node is encrypted. So we are investing quite a lot of resources and time on it, because it's decentralization. It's one of our flags. So apart from that, we keep working in the future privacy protected assets platform. So if someone are curious about it, can follow our GitHub and check the couple of forks that and branches that are being worked on. I'm aware most of the people like just check the main branch, but the main branch is updated when we merge an update that was being tested and is completed. So if you want to have a notion of the work being done, you need to check our development branch. And beside that, we have every contributor to the project as it is on fork and branch. So yeah, it's not easy to follow up what's being done, but it's a way to do it. So quite a lot of work in several fronts are being done regarding development and research as well. For instance, there is a new community initiative to build a plug and play that will include a miner box. That's a big project that is being researched to encourage non-technical concealers to help strengthen the network and earn some CCX, and at the same time gonna strengthen the links between the tech and our community. So I'm happy for all these recent achievements in terms of development, and my biggest wish is that the world use them and participate more, because we keep asking people to decentralize their hash rate, and unfortunately is not happening. Like every miner out there still chooses the biggest pool, and the biggest pool doesn't mean you're gonna have the biggest rewards possible, because I will not to details, but it's something you can search, or at least if you are a miner for a couple of years already, you should know get more rewards in a small pool than in a bigger pool. And I understand it's a bear market, so we don't have the participation of our community members like a few months ago, but is my second wish is like the community could gather again, not only on social media but on our Discord, and feel free to ask questions, share their ideas, because we are a community-driven project. So before being a privacy coin, a privacy, we are a community. So and everyone is welcome to participate. And that's it. I've covered all regarding research and development. And thank you, Rich.
Thank you so much. Is there anything that you would say was particularly like the particular focus that you and the team are particularly paying attention to that you want to let the community know?
Right now, in terms is like we are seeing too much hash rate centralization in one of our. We try to approach several members of the community and talk with miners, but because we have 51% rate attack protection, people feel confident just to use like the pool they think they could have more performance, more shares validated, but in practice is not that is happening. In practice, they are just centralizing hash rate, and that's not good for the network, because the sentiment having too much hash rate in one pool is not good for the overall sentiment regarding the project from an outsider. Because to an outsider, like, you're going to see it as a centralized project, and it's totally opposite of that. We are completely decentralized project, and we would like to at least to balance things, so it's too much hash rate. Regarding anything we would like to focus, we have a bounty right now for the Ledger hardware wallet that has been for a couple of years. No one picked up it, and we would like any developers in the community feel like to grab this opportunity to start contributing to the project and get some nice stake of CCX to do it now. And even if they prefer, we can pay the bounty in another coin. And definitely we have some members contributing once in a while, but we would like more unknown people joining the developing, contributing, even like if they detect a typo, like they tell us about it or raise an issue on GitHub, so they well prepared to handle like with suggestions, ideas, any issues. So we have a few ways to report any improvement or any issue in our software, in our apps. So we would like the community to focus on that. If they have any improvement idea or if they detect any issue, to raise their concerns or to inform us using the tools available. The Conceal Help Desk going direct to GitHub. And it would like as well, at least for the overall morale of the team, like to have more stars on GitHub. We are a small project. All the team has daily jobs. I will not say we make sacrifices because we love what we do, but it's not easy. Like working overnight, like sleeping less hours, less time with family, not having free time to do physical activities or go out because we are working on the project. So it will be nice if the community could at least like check what we are doing, give us some, follow the project on GitHub, not only on social media, and be more active, like participating in the discussions, because GitHub allows discussions as well, not only raising issues, suggesting improvements, uploading or proposing code changes, that GitHub allows that could boost even our score inside CoinGecko, CoinGecko, and CoinMarketCap, and all those market cap sites. So, and we launched a web wallet that will like anyone to experiment, to try it, because one of the problems we had in the past, it was we have our cloud constantly get bombed by hackers trying to break the security. They fail to do it, but of course that has side effects like it's down for a few hours, and then we need to rescan all the wallet, and we are talking about of hundreds, maybe thousands of addresses. So it takes at least 24 hours, and now we have a backup plan. We have a backup that very soon going to be our main light wallet, is the web wallet that I explained before, that is totally decentralized, runs on your browser, and in case of something goes wrong, the cloud is down, you can import the cloud, import a desktop wallet, command line wallet, all kinds of wallet are compatible. This web wallet is compatible with any kind of addresses and wallets, and doesn't need a login or any personal details, and has no IPs record. Of course, people should always use a VPN at least, and that's it. For now, there is not much we can ask our community attending the overall panorama of crypto. I think we're still holding well, and we are doing our best. So we are not much affected in terms of development work by the markets. Of course, we will prefer like succeed in the markets as well to boost the community mood, but we are doing our best.
Fabulous, 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 fabulous. Thank you. And anybody who's listening, if you have any questions, please hold on to them. You will get a chance to ask your questions after our next speaker, which is Christopher. Christopher, you are Christopher or Christopher? What should I call you?
Christopher.
Christopher, great. Okay, and you are an ambassador for Conceal Network. So do you just want to say what that is, and then what it is you want to let us know that you've been doing in that role?
Okay, so as an ambassador, I'm pretty much promoting the Conceal Network and our products, and just trying to spread the word and work on the marketing end.
Okay, and how do you do that? Where do you do that? What have you been focusing on?
I try to do that across various social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok, my own Facebook, LinkedIn, everything that I can pretty much promote Conceal Network on, I'm promoting it now.
Okay. Okay, and how long have you been involved with the project?
I try to get as much as I can locally where I am, so I'm just outside of Toronto. But we have a lot of stuff going on, I guess, in Canada in the last year that's been really good for the privacy space, I guess, in the sense that people are realizing now that the government can mess with your money if they're...
Christopher, you're dropping out, and it's rather large drops.
I'm sorry. Is that better?
Well, let's try that. So you said the situation in Canada, and I think what you're referring to is the truckers demos that happened earlier on this year. And then one of the things that the banks did was people who were demonstrating against the restrictions were denied access to their own money in their bank accounts, even though they hadn't been convicted of any crime or anything.
Okay, so I worked with the Committee on Monetary and Economic Reform in Canada. So this was a group that tried to sue the government of Canada in order to reinstate our Bank of Canada to its original mandate. But that was kind of thrown out in the trash by our courts, and I kind of had seen that coming. I was someone at Comer who was trying to encourage the organization to get more active in the community and to gather more public support before the lawsuit went forward, because I saw that the government was just going to slap it down and then throw it to the side and then have the media not really say much about it, which is exactly what happened. Pretty much just threw the lawsuit out, and then everyone just kind of forgot about it. And I could see shortly after the convoy started and everything started to gather, once the media had started to pay attention to the convoy, the tone changed very quickly, and I could see that the same thing was going to be done, that they were going to get rid of this as quickly as possible, sweep it under the rug, and then stop talking about it. That's essentially what they did with the Cummer lawsuit. It's kind of like the government's standard operating procedure. If they have something that they feel is threatening to them that they need to get rid of, they just try to efficiently get rid of it as quickly as possible and then just stop talking about it. So when I saw what was happening in Ottawa, I knew that they were going to do that same thing with them. Just the rhetoric that was coming out around the convoy from the media and the government was pretty critical. So I went there with my friend, and I guess the night we arrived, we found a trucker who had his gas had been seized.
Jesus.
So we were speaking with him, and he told us he'd been receiving donations in Bitcoin.
Right.
So it was interesting. He didn't know much about it, but I got him to give me his wallet address so that I could send him some Bitcoin. I was like, oh, it sucks that someone took your gas. Maybe I'll send you some money with Bitcoin. And he showed me his wallet address, and then I pulled up, I guess, just blockexplorer.com, and I pulled up his wallet address and showed him his balance, and I showed him the transactions that had been made from other people to his coin wallet, and he had no idea that you could do that. So that's kind of what I was trying to go there to do, is to show people that the donations that they had been receiving or through Bitcoin, that would all be traced by the government, and that the government would eventually come to mess with them because they didn't like what they were doing.
Yeah.
Again, that's exactly what happened. So it was actually really fortunate that I got to meet a few people before that actually happened, and I predicted it perfectly what would happen. And the next day, we walked around through Ottawa. We walked around the convoy. We had some posters printed up for Conceal Network. We spread those all over the main area where the convoy was. And just kind of spread the word about Conceal Network, was showing people our wallet ID, like that gentleman who I showed his Bitcoin wallet balance to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing him my Conceal wallet and showing him how I could make it, because he was having kind of a confusing time with the Bitcoin wallet address. I was showing him how you can make a Conceal ID that has essentially a username that's linked to your wallet, so you don't have to memorize or share a wallet address that's a long sequence of numbers and letters. You can just share a username. So little things like that, like people that are new to crypto, like that makes things a lot more user-friendly, and it reduces anxiety for new people to crypto, because you don't have to be so nervous that you have the exact address to send your money to.
Yep.
So
are you
people really something to what?
You're getting good take up from the people you're talking to as you extol the virtues of a privacy crypto versus an open crypto?
Yes, exactly. The distrust that these people had for the government initially was just like, they were very receptive to doing things outside of the government's sphere of influence, or where they can see, like, why operate where the government can see what you're doing? If you can operate in a way where they're not going to be able to mess with you or know what you're doing, then why not have that option?
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I ended up speaking with lots of people about crypto that day, and it was bad that my friend and I could only stay for a few days. And when I ended up, I had a few people reach out to me afterwards and be like, oh, you were exactly right about what happened, because I added a bunch of people to social media and they reached out to me later. And afterwards, like the freedom protests that we've been having in Toronto afterwards, like everyone's very receptive now. They're like, oh, what happened with those Bitcoin wallets? Like, why was the government able to do that? Like, a lot of people still think that Bitcoin is like this untouchable money. Like the people who don't really actively follow crypto, like if they're just passively like hearing things through, they can get the impression that Bitcoin is still like private digital money. So I don't know, there's a lot of people that just, they want to know now. And it's a good time to be spreading the word about it.
Now that what you've talked about is what happened on the demos. I mean, what is it that you're doing now to reach out to people?
Thankfully, I've resumed working in the film industry. Previously I worked as a set medic for the film industry. So I provide medical coverage to film productions. It's a hotspot in Toronto where we have lots of movies and TV shows that get filmed here. So lately I've been working on some bigger productions. I've been working on Star Trek recently.
Yep.
So part of what I've been doing is when I went to Ottawa, I had a sticker machine. So I've been printing out CCXs. Anywhere I go, if there's a good place to sticker, I throw stickers around. So lately I've been working on some bigger productions. I've been working on Star Trek recently. So part of what I've been doing is when I went to Ottawa, I had a sticker machine. So I've been printing out CCXs. Anywhere I go, if there's a good place to sticker, I throw stickers around. But in the film industry, the sets are usually covered in stickers. A lot of the grips and the people who work on the sets, all of their equipment is usually stickered. So I just put a whole bunch of stickers on the Star Trek set and word to people just within the film industry, just because there's a lot of people that are interested in crypto in there.
Yep.
So yeah, I try to occasionally I get the opportunity to speak with some of the principal actors. So I know last year I was working on the Mayor of Kingstown, and I was trying to spread the word to Jeremy Renner because I worked with him fairly closely on many different takes. I was working on that show for a few weeks. And yeah, I was trying to get anyone of influence, if I could, to potentially just mention Conceal Network in their public social media. So that's kind of what I've been trying to work on recently, as well as just working on some content. I'm making some content about the Bank of Canada, the history of the Bank of Canada. If anyone outside of Canada, they're probably not familiar with it. Canada, in that we actually own our central bank. We nationalized it in the 30s, but then we choose not to really use it, which is why Company Italy tried to restate the bank to its original mandate. But the government has no will to use it as it was originally. We're kind of in a predicament where we could do a lot better than a lot of other countries, but we're just intentionally kind of stabbing ourselves with our central bank. But that's the story across the board. It's just, it doesn't have to be that way in Canada because we actually do control our central bank still.
Yep.
But there's a unique story there, and everyone is kind of interested about that now. The inflation taking off, so producing a series of videos about that.
And you do have a prime minister with a particular ethos that wouldn't necessarily be for the democratization of the central bank, or for it to be used for the benefit of all people, in my opinion.
No, absolutely not. The interesting thing is that our central bank worked very efficiently in a way that typically citizens would desire a central bank to work between the time of 1933 or so, when it was nationalized, and 1974, when our current Prime Minister's father, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, changed the... for those who don't know, Justin Trudeau's father, he was the Prime Minister in the 70s, and he changed our Bank Act to introduce fractional reserve lending. So prior to 1974, no bank in Canada could loan money out unless they had the money in their accounts to actually cover that loan.
Right.
And that allowed to loan out funny money that they'd never have. So it kind of it changed the name of the game of Canadian banking, and it pretty much just set off the chain of events that led to all this inflation, essentially.
Yes.
There's speculation amongst everyone who is familiar with this that essentially Justin Trudeau's father likely sold out our country in exchange for his son becoming prime minister one day, or at least the theory would be that in exchange for selling out our central bank, that he agreed to have the son be prime minister.
Okay, very good. I mean, not good that he did that. Okay, Chris, sorry, Christopher, because I want to move this on a bit.
Sure.
So what you've been doing is focusing on Canada. What I want to know, and maybe you can come in here, Mr. Cripps, about if anybody who wants to be an ambassador for another nation, United States or the UK or a part of the US or Germany, is there any process? Do we have anybody in place for that?
I think there are about 4 ambassadors right now. Am I correct, Chris? 4 or 5, right? Yeah, and they are from all over the world, so it's not that we only have a person in Canada. As of now, I think it's not possible to become an ambassador currently, but that's Lolita's thing. But she is, if I'm correct, thinking about making that ambassador program bigger.
Okay, and then
I'll be relocating personally to Thailand in the next month or two, so I'll be an ambassador. I'll be to do this stuff.
Great, been promoting it in Thailand, which will leave a vacancy in Canada. Fabulous.
Well, I'll spend some time in Canada as well. I'll come back and I'll promote it in both countries at that point.
Right. Okay. I'm sure there's room for more than one ambassador in any particular nation. And I imagine, Mr. Cripps, when you're ready to have more ambassadors, you'll publicize it through your regular social media channels, and then given the community-focused ethos of this project, anyone in the community can step forward and ask to be an ambassador or participate in any way.
Definitely.
Great. Chris, thank you so much. Anything else you want to say very quickly?
Yeah, just that there seems to be a big switch in how easy it's been to sell people on the privacy space now. Especially just in Canada, everyone seems to be aware that if the government can see what you're doing with your money, they will choose to mess with it if they can. And if you can give people the option to transact with one another in a way that the government can't see it, that people are going to be more receptive to that now. I think the tide is starting to change in favor of the privacy space.
Great.
I just see it in talking to people. People are just so much more receptive to listening to me talk about it.
I have a question regarding what you've been doing there, and that is how many people were open to crypto in general? Because here in the Netherlands, we have the farmers' protest going on right now. And I have also been involved reaching out to multiple influential people that also lead the protests and politicians. But it's hard, most of them think crypto is a scam, or they think you want to grab their money, or they're here, at least in the Netherlands, they're not very open to it. It's kind of hard to even be able to explain what you have to say, because as soon as you say the word crypto, they even don't want to listen to you anymore.
Yeah, I think I only experienced one person who was very unreceptive to it and acted as though anything that was related to crypto was a scam. But otherwise, I think everyone's been very receptive to it. I think the problem with the convoy protest in Ottawa was that the police response was very strategic, in that they tried to pick away at the vital needs of the truckers, so to take their fuel, things like that, just try to take generators and things that they needed to maintain their presence there a little bit at a time, so that essentially was forcing them to go to get things, and then they would move in and make it so that they couldn't come back, that sort of thing. So there was a logistical need to get money to the truckers once the traditional means of getting funds to them was blocked off, and that precipitated the beginning of the end very quickly once that starts to happen. Once the supply of resources was dried up, the police had a much easier time moving in and wiping everything away. So the people, just because of the circumstances, were very receptive to any way that they could get funds to the truckers without the government blocking it or putting you on some sort of terror watch list, or blocking your bank account. Even I was worried personally that they may block my bank account, because I had pretty much been going there strictly for the purpose of showing these people how to transact in a way that the government couldn't interfere with. So I was worried potentially that they might block my account just because of my activity there, but thankfully they didn't. So,
all right. So I think the difference is the measures that the government took, because here in the Netherlands, of course, they haven't frozen any accounts of farmers yet. And also farmers here in general, the biggest part of the farmers, actually think that it is still about nitrogen reduction and not about their land that they want to take. So that's why those farmers are also not really open to any alternatives, because they don't see the government as a threat just yet. I mean, they see it as a threat to their existence, but they don't see it. They don't see the bigger picture, if you get what I mean.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Mr. Cribbs, the BPSAA question. Anything you want to let us know or update us about with regards to the BPSAA and Conceal Network?
Well, honestly, it's not me that is always there. It's always Lolita who attends the weekly meetings. So I'm not really completely up to date. But I know recently all the projects have worked on presentations for each other, and then the BPSA is going to upload them. And yeah, the group is just great. It's helped. All the projects are helping each other on various fronts with various things. What's an example of what I found really great was of course, we had a bit of a hustle with Crypto Vigilante last time because they spread some lies about us, and that was trash talk Conceal, sadly. And they also did that in the Pirate Chain chat, and then Dref and a couple of other Pirate Chain moderators just stood up and said we're not having it because Conceal is a solid privacy project and we're partners with them, and we're not allowing you to talk like that about them.
Mhm.
So that's an example of where you can see how supportive these projects are to each other. And me and Brett have even been talking about how we can extend our corporation and maybe even come up with some kind of partnership. So that's cool, yeah. And that's what I love about BPSA.
That's fabulous. And one of the things that I'm working on is a video. It's not confirmed as yet, but I'm working on this with Conceal Network and Pirate Chain, and also Fero, which is another privacy coin that's part of the BPSAA. So that's another reason for you to subscribe and support my work on Odyssey. Okay, well, thank you for that, Mr. Cribs. And you mentioned the weekly call, and I'll let people know is that all the BPSAA members, at least one representative from each project has to attend a weekly call, which usually takes place on Tuesdays. And there they discuss progress and different ways of collaborating. All right, now I'm going to open it up for any questions. If anybody has any questions about any of the topics that have been discussed or anything else, well, as long as it pertains to Conceal Network, please raise your hand, or you can also pop it in the chat. I'll give you a moment to do that. Nope. Okay. Mr. Cribs, all right, CryptoX, anything you want to say before we finish up? And we'll be doing this again in August.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing this again in August. We had a bit of a delay this month, so the next monthly meeting will already be in about 3 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, you and I will work out a day because I got to go on holiday, and I imagine many people are going on holiday around this time of the year, at least in the northern hemisphere. But this will be out on my channel in the next couple of days or so, and I'll have the links in the description below. Anything else, Mr. Quibs?
No, not from my side.
Okay, CryptoX.
I think I'm all good, and thank you very much for hosting this live streaming event, and it was a pleasure.
Yes, thank you. And Christopher, anything for you?
No, just thank you for having me on to talk today.
You're absolutely welcome, and thank you for sharing your stories about Canada and the work that you're doing for Conceal Network. In fact, the work that all of you are doing that are part of the team, and also all of you that are part of the community, because this is a decentralized community project furthering the cause of privacy. I'll have all the links to Conceal Network in the description below. And if you're new to Conceal Network, it's a privacy crypto, part of the BPSAA. Go check it out. Please also subscribe, comment, give me the ticker symbol for CCX, Conceal Network, which is CCX. And between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with crypto profits. This is Christopher H. and CryptoCurrencies and Mr. Quib signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.